back just by going to As Shot and clicking OK, and that resets all of my clips back the way they were on both timelines. So a great new workflow for the Red user. Let's take a quick look and see how After Effects uses the new Red plugin as well. So again, this requires After Effects version 902 in order to use this new workflow. After Effects can import Premiere Pro project. So if you just save your Premiere Pro project and point After Effects to the project, you can go ahead and edit that directly. And you'll see that both your 2K clips and your 4K clips immediately come up the same way they did in Premiere Pro. Now, in order to play these back in real time, you can go ahead the same way you did in Premiere Pro with what we call fractional resolutions, that full through 16. You can go ahead and set them from full to quarter or custom and then be able to change your settings the way you want to. Just right mouse click on your file and go to Interpret Footage Main. Down at the bottom, you just click on your More Options, and you're presented with the exact same red window that you just saw in Premiere Pro. So I can get back right to my different settings, which I had defined in Premiere Pro. They can be shared with After Effects. After Effects can make changes. They can be shared with Premiere Pro. So I can go ahead and apply any of these that I need to and be able to have those settings exactly the same way. So it just works great. So I thought I'd share some of that information with you. For more information on the Red plugin, make sure you check out the detailed video working with Premiere Pro 4.1 and After Effects 902 and the new Red plugin. You'll see that on Adobe TV or the Dave Tech Table site. Another great new feature of Premiere Pro 4.1 is the ability to work with Avid AAF files. You can actually import these and export these. Let me show you how this works. Here's a quick sample DV project. It's got about 10 or so clips on the timeline with some quick DV files. I'll go ahead and play back just a few seconds of this to give you an idea of what it looks like. Again, just a fairly standard DV project. All you have to do to get this ready for Avid Export is just to go to Project, Export Project as AAF. Save as Legacy AAF. And you're done. Let's go ahead and launch Avid. I'll go ahead and pick New Project and go ahead and start a new bin. Name it Adobe to Avid. And let's import that AAF file. So I'll go back out to my desktop and I see my AAF that Premiere exported. And you'll see it comes right in. Double click on my timeline and play. Again, not a particular big deal. Now what happens if we start to modify this file and then send it back over to Premiere? Let's give that a try. I'm going to start with just adding a few more clips to the timeline. And let's go ahead and put in a picture-in-picture. So I'll go over to my effects, grab picture-in-picture, and then drag that on there, and let's just play that back for good measure. And you'll see the audio cuts off right there. That's okay, we'll fix that in just a second. And it looks like I've got some black lines on this particular clip because it's an old DV clip. And at this point, let's go ahead and save this back out. So I'll just say export. We'll just call it NTSC, AAF is fine, that was its default name, and save. Let's go ahead and jump back over to Premiere. Now back in Premiere Pro, I'm just going to go ahead and import this as a fresh AAF project. So I see the AAF that Avid created, so DV NTSC AAF. And it puts everything in a nice neat folder for me. I'm going to go ahead and double click on the NTSC file. And you'll see when it plays, I do have my picture-in-picture. So I'll go ahead and play that back. And again, the audio cuts out. So let's go ahead and fix some of this. I'm going to go over here and extend my audio back out. I'm going to take my picture-in-picture and just very easily do some quick effects and some motion on that. So I'll go ahead and just uniformly scale this down. Create a nice picture-in-picture effect. Click on Scale and Position. I'll move this out to the middle. Expand that size a little bit. And then move it back down on the other side. Now I also notice that there's a few problems here. There's a problem with the cropping. So let's go ahead and fix the crop on this. So I'm going to take my left crop in just a touch and my right crop in just a touch. And I'll go ahead and bring my top down to give it more of a 16:9 look. And I'll bring in my bottom crop a little bit again, finishing that 16:9. And let's play that back and make sure that looks okay. Yeah, I think that's going to work fine. I'm going to go ahead and go to Project, Export as AAF. Go ahead and save the project. And I'm going to call this to Premiere Pro and back again. Go ahead and give it a different name. Save as Legacy AAF. And let's jump back over to Avid. So back inside of Avid Media Composer 351, I went ahead and cleared out my project bin. And let's go ahead and just import that right back into the bin. Let's go to File, Import, and go to that Avid to Premiere Pro and back again AAF file and open that up. Let's go ahead and double click on the export. And the first thing you'll notice is my audio has been extended where Premiere Pro extended the audio. And let's take a look at the picture-in-picture with the motion. Make sure to take a look at the README file on the Avid AAF section so you can double check what file formats are supported. The last new feature I'm going to show you for the 4.1 update is a really great feature for people that are making videos for the web. I'm going to go to File, Export Media. I'm going to change my format to H.264. And you'll notice one of the new settings that we have is YouTube Widescreen HD. A lot of you people might be watching this video on YouTube, and this is the setting that I used. For those of you that want to use widescreen SD, there's also a new setting for that. Thanks for taking a look at what's new with Premiere Pro 4.1, After Effects in 902, and Adobe Media Encoder 4.1.